Alright, so I'm back. The model kit in review had these two frames, but I had a plain frame and a bunch of extra parts from all the other kits I've made. I made a custom here, so let's just start with the base frame. This is easiest to articulate, so you can see I didn't glue this in place because you can swap out rear ends with other figures, but also the clear coat might be keeping some things in tight, but you can see the top of the torso can pivot there, and then you got these shoulders that can go very high up, right? High up and down. There's really nothing limiting it other than colliding with something else. And then here you got this deltoid kind of thing, so a butterfly effect, and then you have the universal split ball joint that's common on these things, so you can rotate both sides because they're pegs. And then there's a hinge here, but I've broken one of these, so you gotta be really careful. Like, I hold it tight like that also, otherwise it might get gappy. Alright, then there's just a single hinge here, little peg going into the forearm, and same single peg for the hand here. So it's such a small model, you know, you can't expect the world, but it still has a lot of articulation, especially this base exoframe. In the cartoon, you know, they militarize the things, or here's a construction kind of, the multi-purpose one. Alright, so continuing on here, you got this drive wheel here, and that would move, except I painted it after I put the thing together. So if you painted it separately and then put it together, you could spin that around, but I think there's so much paint in there it's stuck. But the body for that thing, you know what, this thing's annoying me, I gotta come back. Alright, I glued that in place, shouldn't bother us now, but you can now see there's a peg here going into the lower torso, so you can spin that whole bottom end around. And then this drive wheel frame, you can swing that forward if you wanted to, but makes sense to leave it in the back in my opinion. Okay, so then you have that split ball again, and so you can rotate the hips 360 around, and then also on the other side. But here there's a hinge, right? Try to get this you know what, I don't think I've ever posed this in the compact position, so let me do that later. But here, one hinge again for the knee, just like in the elbow, and then there's a ball here for the foot to swing totally down or forward a little bit, but collides. And then the foot itself is on a rotary peg as well. So let me see here. I'm trying to think. Storage mode, when these things arrive from the unknown aliens above, just go like this, and I think maybe that's why the drive wheel pivots like that. And the chest goes, well, unfortunately can't go all the way down, but swing this forward maybe. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually duplicate what's in the TV show. It shows up really compact, but unfortunately this isn't a master grade Bandai product, so it's just you can still get down a little bit. This becomes like a tricycle or something there. Alright, well, decent enough articulation, but bear in mind it is a model kit, so it's not really meant to be played with as a toy. There's this funky little drive wheels. Alright. So, you can pop in these characters here. We'll put this guy in this one here. And this guy is really meant for, I think, for the orange suit there. But we'll leave him as is right now. I wonder if I could tilt that forward even more. That doesn't look right now. So I guess it's, well, I move that forward. Oh, yeah, no, well. no great way to actually pose it in a lowered position, unfortunately. Unless maybe you move the legs. Well, look at that. You can make it like a low-riding tricycle with arms. Alright, but anyways, I bought this model kit because I wanted this one, the multi-purpose frame. And so same basic exoframe, but it comes with a different cradle, I guess you'd call it, for the pilot, and a roll cage, and then it's got some headlights here, and it came with this accessory, which is like a wrench of some sort. This part moves. So it came with no decals at all, the model kit. So I had a bunch of decals left over. In fact, these are like car racing decals, but whatever. So just add some detail with that. Yeah, I forget what these come from, but I had to do a lot of yellow paint, knowing it's supposed to be like a construction model for me at least. So yellow where I could, and then this thing isn't glued together, this top part, so let me try to open this thing. Oh wait. I think I did glue it. I'm a moron, I did glue it together. Yeah, so just friction fit wise, those two can come off, and these two as well, so oh well. Let's see if I can get the guy in there. Oh, I think it doesn't matter. I think I might be able to get this in here anyways. Yeah, alright, so that's good. So that guy's working construction apparently with this one. Alright, so the custom one, oh, well actually, let me put this wrench thing in this hand. And actually, if you look at that image back there, it seems to be stored here, which is why I guess why it has these brackets on the thing. I guess it's stored the other way. So that works. Although I figure, you know, like the character has hands for a reason. That's why I didn't even bother painting the handle of this, because it gets scratched off anyways. Just twist that into the hand. Alright, so some sort of construction working exoframe suit. It's pretty cool actually, I like it. So the custom, yeah, I just bought a base exoframe, and then many kits that I've had extra parts, like these feet were different, this hand is different, this whole thing belongs to a different thing, and I put it vertical instead of horizontal. And then this, I drilled some holes into the side and put this here, and this is another frame for the seat, which is upside down. So I guess those are the modifications. I used a lot of UV glue actually to reinforce the glue point from this point to this big plate here. Oh, in fact, I actually have some putty here because I clear coated all these things, and I have a little jewel bead for like arts and crafts as like an eye. So this one I didn't glue in place. Let's get this female character in here. Alright, so her hands fit this control thing. Yeah, some sort of yoke kind of thing here. And so now the intention is for this to swing down and kind of be a backrest. So I suppose I should glue that in place now that the thing's all painted. But maybe I'll do it later. And then I add a little metal part here from a Gundam accessory detail thing. Apparently I gotta glue this in place as well later. Some smoke dischargers, some sensors, yeah. So ammo boxes, storage boxes, whatever. And then some decals again. Okay. So I just want to throw up this Gavial prototype, the USMC one, next to this, because this plate is an extra one from one of these kits, and that's what it is here. It's just, this is the way it's supposed to be. Marine one obviously has a whole armored cabin for the pilot, and I added some jerry cans and stuff like that. And then maybe this one even had extra feet. I forget, but you can see the spiked feet are identical in their molding. Yeah. Seems like I didn't put enough detail on this one. Oh well, no big deal. Had some extra weapons from some other kits, so this is now just a scooter carrying a mortar to some location. And anyways, they're really cool. Armored walking robots. It's not far away from reality, you know. It seems really cool to have right now, but once AI connects with all these robots, we're all dead. It's sad to laugh about that, but it's actually true. Terminator will happen. Okay, thanks. We'll see you later. Hopefully before that event happens. Bye. Skynet.